It's survival of the fittest, guys. It is the Darwin Project. Hey guys, my name is codename Big Bear, or Stuart if you want to call me by my first name. Welcome to the Bear's Den. So as I said, today we are talking about the Darwin Project. As it is survival of the fittest, it is a battle royale game. But I'm going to stop just there a second, because every time I hear the name Darwin, I think of the dude on the money. Ding. And the dude on the money reminds me of my dad. Ding. It's uncanny, right? It's madness. So as I said, the Darwin Project is a battle royale game. You face up to 9 other people and you simply gotta survive. Survival of the fittest, Darwin, you get the idea. Though it has really nothing to do with Charles Darwin. It's literally just a clever name and I really enjoy that. But you play a convict, I believe, and you are set into a battle royale mode, and I'm hoping that the idea if you survive, you get set free, or you become champion and go into the next one, kind of like Battle Royale the movie, which by the way is an excellent film, and if you haven't seen it, go see it, because it's better than Hunger Games, and it's just so good. Just go watch it. So the whole game is, like I said, Battle Royale is all about survival. When you get dropped into the actual game itself, it's just survive! And you've got to run around chopping down trees with your axe, which is your main weapon. And with the trees you can build a fire, because you are set in a snowy area, and you have a temperature gauge. If it gets too cold, you freeze to death. But you will build arrows, build fires, and the arrows are used for your bow and arrow, obviously. But you also have some special skills as well, which I'll get into a little bit more. And you just simply run around finding the other people and try and eliminate them from the game. Whilst you're doing this as well, it does have very much a battle royale as in the film aspect to it as well, where sections of the map get closed off. Now this map is actually quite huge. It's really big, and being only 10 people on the map, it can be quite hard to find other people, but there are hints and ways to find people within the game, which again I'll get into in a second. But these sections will close off, and if you're inside them, it's game over. When that minute is over, it is game over. There's no way around it. So you've got to run and get out of there as fast as you possibly can. Once section is closed off, you do have portals you can zip through to the next section that's available, which is really cool. I didn't realise. They're like Stargates, which is quite nice. So I only played as 2 classes. There are 3. You have an aerial class that you can fly and hover in the battlefield. You have a grappling class, which is like a grip hook, almost like in Zelda, where you shoot something, you fly towards it, maybe even Just Cause. And you have a sentinel class, which has essentially laser beak, just kind of floating around doing this thing, helping you out on the battlefield. You have to choose your power-ups, and you level up and you get more power-ups as you go as well. I played as the flight one and the grappling hook one I played as those 2 outright. I never really got to use the grappling hook's powers, his shield domes of shields, because I died pretty quickly. I didn't do very well in these games. I think I got to 3, then I got to 4, then I got to 5 and 6, and then I just stopped playing because I was getting progressively worse, and I was only giving it an hour, and that was pretty much time up by then. But the idea of these are really cool. So if you have flight, you can just kind of fly around the field a little bit, get a better vantage point. You let go of flight and you can shoot someone in the head as you drop them back down to the ground, or you can use these like slam moves that you got that you can build as well. But you can't access those super moves for any of your classes until you get enough Darwinium, which are these pods of yellow things that you smash open, and it gets given you those, and you've got to craft those on the fly. And once you craft those, that's fine, you've just got cooldowns to use them then, in that case. Every time you use one, 30-second cooldown. Crafting isn't the only thing you can do on the battlefield. You can actually run around and you can get these stations that drop down, big Darwinium stations that you can quickly grab and get a whole load of stuff and steal power away from other people so they can't get their powers quicker. But you can also find these loot crates that are just kind of sat around, and they give you powers that you wouldn't have access to. So for instance, you choose you want a bear trap, or you want a trip line, or you want a cage trap. Of course I chose bear trap. I am codenamed Bear after all. But I was able to access the cage traps and the trip lines through these loot boxes that are loot crates, sorry, that are on the battlefield, which was really, really nice. They also give you health. They also give you like stat boosts, or even some extra Darwinium every now and again, which is quite cool. To use those by using a D-pad on the fly. So at one point I was very cold. I was in an area where I couldn't build a fire. There was a dude right around the corner from me, and I had a little coffee icon, so I clicked it to see what it did. It warmed me right up, and I was able to continue on fighting and escape because the guy was about to kill me. I'm rubbish at this game. I really am rubbish at this game. It brings me to the customization of this game. For me, this is the downside, but this game is free to play, so it's kind of expected. I just, personally, I don't spend money on free to play games. I play the game for a bit, and I don't really play free to play games, if I'm honest. You have to buy your cosmetics, so your customization for your character is pretty limited. You can't change the shape of your character body. You can be female, male, it doesn't really matter on that side of things. You can change your hair colour. You can't have long hair though, which, come on man, that upset me. I wanted long hair. I wanted to be able to customize as much as I could. But neither here nor there. So you basically, what you start with is pretty much all you can access when you start. You get given a ramen pack, which is your currency, but that is behind paywalls. I'm unsure if you can unlock any of that throughout the game. I don't think I played enough of the game to find out, to be honest. But that's my fault, not the developers. And the items you can unlock are pretty cool. You get some nice helmets, and you get some nice. There was one that was really cool. It's called Bear to Arms, and it was basically a stuffed teddy bear on your shoulder pad. And I thought that was really quite cool and quite clever. It did make me chuckle as well. So again, if that's your kind of thing, you don't want the default skins, you know, you've got to pay for the others, which again, in a free-to-play game, is expected. But the game itself is actually really charming looking. It looks kind of like Overwatch and Fortnite crossed together. I don't really know because I've never played those games, but that's what it looks like to me. And the world itself is set in a snowy area. The maps, I've been on a couple of maps, they are quite large and quite varied. You get some really cool stuff. You've got areas where there are rivers that are frozen over and boats are stuck in there. You've got animals roaming around, and when you kill the animal, because you can hunt, you also pick up resources. You can get traps and stuff from those as well. But it turns out they're robot animals, so you're in a post-apocalypse type future here. I don't think animals exist in this future, as far as I can tell, anyway. But yeah, you got these really lush visuals, and it's definitely worth looking at if you haven't played this. Just look at it, give it a go. I mentioned leveling up earlier very briefly. Leveling up is pretty easy. You just play the game and you level up as you would do. I didn't get to the level where I could really have any effect on the game. That's level 5, where you get director mode. And from what I can gather, director mode is, because you have this voice talking to you throughout the whole thing anyway, telling you what's going on. The director's doing something here and there, like shutting down the areas in the thing. But you can also send nuclear strikes as well, which is really cool. But there was one moment whilst I was playing that just confused the heck out of me. So we are in like these armoured suits, and you're running around doing your thing. Then all of a sudden it went kind of summery. Snow was still there, but it was like summertime fun, summertime frenzy, or something along those lines. And my character ended up in a bathing suit for a good few minutes, and I thought it might have an effect on like the temperature. Thankfully it didn't, and yeah, it was just really interesting. So if you get to director, you get to have fun with it. I suppose you have to host the match as well to have control of that. Another thing I found on the menus was lore. I never actually looked, I never found any lore, I never found anything into it. Again, I don't think I just played it long enough. So there is definitely a story in this game, and with the loading screens, you do get, you know, little bits here and there, tidbits of what's going on. But I imagine throughout the map you can actually just find little pieces of lore throughout that tells you what's happened, and maybe tells you, well, see, again, because it's a battle royale game, you can't really escape. I keep wanting to think you can escape this whole area and escape the whole idea of this, but I don't think that's possible because it is a very online focused game. But the lore side of things just seems quite interesting. I wish I knew more about it to tell you. I just don't know, and I wasn't able to find any, and I don't know how to find any. But it does look really interesting, at least anyway. But yeah, as my first experience in a full battle royale game, yeah, I really enjoyed it. It's not a game I'm going to go back to. I don't really play online games in that kind of space. but I really enjoyed what I did play, and I can see people who actually enjoy these types of games getting really stuck in and kind of focusing on these powers and playing around with everything that's available to you. And once obviously you unlock customization a bit more and get to director mode, that would be really fun for them as well. So for me, the Darwin Project, sorry, is getting a solid 7 out of 10. Not a bad game at all. Actually really quite a good game. If you enjoy Battle Royales, you may enjoy this more, but that's my thoughts on it anyway. So anyway guys, that was my look at Darwin Project. So I think it was a pretty respectable score. If you let me know what you think down below, you know, on the comments. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Find us on social media and on our website. All the links are down below. And just be nice to each other, yeah?